to Montessori preschool, right? And we did not know what we were going to do afterwards because, you know, you had two choices. Either you're going to send your child to a public school or here in Los Angeles, the amount of money to send your child to a private school is ridiculous.
Crazy. And I think it is pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, but it's just really hard.
Yeah, so, you know, and a lot of parents could afford it, but we just couldn't. So we got to talking to a friend of ours, a mutual friend, and she was in the same bind, and she talked about having a studio school, homeschooling. And I don't know, the hairs of the back of my neck just went weird. And a studio school is even different from actual homeschooling because it would be about 10 kids in a home, and then we would all pay for a teacher. And we ended up going to public school.
Well, yeah, because then she got a windfall of money and just took her kid out of the arrangement entirely.
Yes, she did.
And sent her to one of the expensive private schools.
Yes, she did.
And I went to private schools. I had scholarships and stuff all of my childhood, except for the worst year of my life, which was that 1 year of public school.
Yeah.
Don't do that to your child. Don't private school your child and then have 1 year of public school. They smell it on you.
Yeah.
We asked our Frangelistas about their thoughts on homeschooling. Take a look.
Parents need time away from kids, so no homeschooling for me. I don't think it's productive for either parent or child.
I'm very okay with homeschooling. I feel like schools in America could use a lot of help.
I think that I probably wouldn't homeschool just because of the whole social aspect and integration with, you know, society that is very instrumental in a development for kids.
Yeah, either you feel that way or you don't, right?
Exactly.
Well, let's bring in our guest, education expert Adam Wasserman, founder of the Education Justice Law Group. Hi, Adam.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. So, Adam, you had a learning disability, right?
Well, I wasn't supposed to be able to ride a bicycle, graduate high school, or ever play a musical instrument.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
they got that wrong.
I still have it.
Okay.
It doesn't go away.
Right. Well, do you think that you would have benefited from homeschooling?
Well, you know, my parents had me go to regular school during the day, and then the second half of the day was mom and dad's school. So I practically went to school double hours that everybody went. So.
Right.
Well, they were going to get that education in you, weren't they?
Right.
And they did.
Yeah.
They really did. Everyone has their own style. And homeschooling allows people to explore their own style and in some cases have more of a life than they would have had or a better life than they would have had if they had gone to public school.
Right. So you've had both experiences.
I've homeschooled my son.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us about that.
And, you know, my son, brilliant kid, very creative, very artistic. But when he hit 7th grade, he was missing a lot of the skill sets that kids were supposed to have. So we pulled him out and we intensely taught him those math, science, language, arts, and history skill sets. And he's been on autopilot ever since. He went back to school. He knows what they're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
And he has the highest grades, and he's very happy now.
Well, and I've had friends who did the same things, and that's been very interesting because when we were coming up, you know, and we've always been told that kid who's homeschooled is a little weird.
Well, in California, I mean, we created all these flexible education programs in California for the actresses and the actors and the artists and the athletes.
Yeah.
And so those kids aren't weird. Everyone wants to be like those kids, right?
But we've got a pro and con list that people have made up. And so can you talk to us about this a little bit? Some of the pros are more of a flexible schedule, no more school drop-offs. Kids learn at their pace.
All right, in terms of schedule and pace, so you start and stop when you want. A lot of these cases, you get the whole semester to hand your work in, and in some cases, redo your work.
Yeah.
So flexibility is really important here.
Well, and this is my big question is, isn't the homeschooling as good as the parent that's homeschooling?
Hello.
Well, you know, yes and no. It's not an easy question. So first of all, a lot of these online programs are very good, and the child just needs coaching.
Got it.
So it really is up to the program to carry the day and make sure the child follows through. Parents who have a homeschool need to have their own practice. They need to maintain their perspective. They can't wing it because they don't want to imprint their deficiencies when it comes to education on their child.
That is-
Otherwise,
There you go.
that's an education that's never going to end.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's bring in Tatiana Samano. She's one of our production assistants here, and she was homeschooled, which we didn't even know.
No, we didn't even know, Tatiana.
Hi, Tatiana. How long were you homeschooled?
I was homeschooled half of my school life, so from like 7th grade to high school, I was homeschooled.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, did you see advantages in it for you?
I did. I get to set my own schedule, and I get to choose which curriculum I wanted to use. And I basically had the choice of going through a private school system or through a public school system.
What did you like about being homeschooled, and what didn't you like?
Well, what I didn't like was that people would criticize you because you were homeschooled.
That would- Yep,
and
that
when
was
I
my-
would tell
that was
people that I'm homeschooled, they would look at you differently, like, "Oh, you're homeschooled? Oh, that makes sense." And
Yeah,
I'd be
like you're a
"That
freak
makes sense?"
suddenly. They're like,
"Oh, okay." And what I really loved about it was I get to start at 6 a.m. and then I would finish like at 12 p.m. And then I would be like, "Okay, I have my me time."
guess you just got a promotion, homeschool
did,
girl.
did.
Look at you.
Look at, what would you tell parents who are considering homeschooling their kids?
I would tell them that get involved with other homeschool families because there's a lot of resources to help them through their journey, and it helped me. It taught me life lessons that the public school system didn't teach, so that helped build my character.
Wow, Tatiana, we had no idea.
You're not freaky at all.
You are fabulous.
Do you have any, what would you say to parents who are considering homeschooling?
I want to make a point clear because it's very important. If you think your child's struggling with school because of learning issues, emotional issues, don't say, I'm going to homeschool him. Because if they need something else, the district is on the hook to give it to them. Don't let them off the hook if your child has special needs.
That's right. Absolutely.
right.
Thank you so much, Tatiana and Adam. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Me Time with Frangela.